I have some news.
You've been up and you've been looking at the
I've
internet.
been up and been looking at the internet, and I have some news. This is from canals.ny.gov. This is the official website of the canal system in New York State. A little background. The main thing that we've been dealing with as far as deciding whether we're going to go forward with our cruise plans and things like that had to do with the marina and what the status of marinas were, the infrastructure and all that kind of thing. And for a while there, the marinas were all closed in New York State, including Winter Harbor, where the boat is on the Erie Canal. And but those were reopened about a week ago.
Well, they were closed because they were closed because it was cold.
They were still closed for the season,
Yeah.
but even their normal winter operations were closed down
Yeah.
at Winter Harbor and other marinas.
Repairs and stuff.
And that was very unfortunate. And but the state has declared them to be essential businesses, and they're open again, which is great. But the one thing that was always bothersome,
There was no news.
there was no news as to what was going on with the Erie Canal, the New York State canal system. The Erie is the one that we're concerned about the most. And I guess the Oswego.
Oswego, yeah.
But they've said nothing. There was nothing, no news on canals.ny.gov until the 23rd, until just the other day. And this is a quote directly from the notice to mariners that they've had. The only thing that they had been saying was that they were acting in concert with the orders and mandates of New York State at the time.
Well, and that there was about 60 days worth of maintenance
Right.
that had been planned and scheduled for this year before the opening to the public
Correct.
date. And
Correct.
so we knew that was a factor, whatever
Yeah,
state rules came about, that was still in play.
that's right. So anyway, on April 23rd, they posted this on the website. I just discovered it this morning. It's Sunday morning, whatever the date is. And I'm reading verbatim quote from the notice to mariners. Due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, the Canal Corporation has suspended all non-essential construction and maintenance activities. Therefore, the New York State Canal System will not open for through navigation on the locks on May 15th as previously announced. However, to support the canal's continued use as a prime recreational waterway, the Canal Corporation is currently evaluating operational options to ensure New Yorkers will have access to the canal system, if even potentially on a regional basis this season. We recognize that this is an extraordinarily difficult time and are sensitive to potential hardships canal stakeholders, as well as many other New Yorkers, may experience. The situation with COVID-19 is ever evolving, and we are trying to adapt our plans accordingly. Future updates will be posted through our Notice to Mariners program. We appreciate your patience. That's the extent of the message. It doesn't give any greater detail. It's not saying what kind of maintenance, where this maintenance is located, or anything like that. They're just saying they're not going to open on the 15th due to maintenance issues. I think that there's one line in this statement that...
There's actually two as you read it again, but go ahead.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the one that I've keyed in on that I think is the most troubling is the if even potentially on a regional basis line. What that says to me is that they're considering only opening parts of the canal, that where maintenance is being deferred or stopped or suspended,
Can't be done.
that part of the canal will not be open. And so therefore...
You can't get all the way through.
Correct. Can't get all the way through. What was the part that you saw?
The other, if you go through, notice that it constantly says they're concerned about New Yorkers.
Yeah, and I heard that. I
And
saw that too.
And that's where their, quote, regional basis is, whether it's the governor, the head of the canal system, or whatever. They're not looking at this, even from a tourist standpoint, as our concern for boaters, our concern for New Yorkers.
Mm-hmm.
And that they're only looking at this as a local, thus regional is okay.
Yeah, I saw that too. And
The more you read it, the more
Yeah.
that gets emphasized. And maybe a little short-sighted on their part, but I understand that they're limited with their resources and
Yep.
by safety reasons. will probably not be able to open parts of the canal.
Right.
At least for longer periods of time.
That's what it sounds like to me. I mean, it sounds like they're saying there's a good chance parts of the canal will be closed.
Will be closed, or at least will be closed for a period of time, and we're not going to give you our long-range schedule about when X is going to be open versus Y is going to be
Right.
closed. And thus our real problem that we just were talking about the back end of our cruise plan being a more major issue than even getting out of here.
That's right. Yeah, you and I have done very well at being at the right place when we need to be because of emergencies, big weather, because of hurricanes, because of whatever, particularly on the boat.
Yeah.
It seems like if
Yeah.
if there was trouble in one part of a
We'd be
cruising
back
area,
already.
we were someplace else. And we've done pretty well at that. And I'm growing increasingly concerned that
If we can get out of there.
if we can get out of there, we might not be able to get back.
It's that simple.
It's that simple. And we want to be back at Winter Harbor after this season anyway. We were planning on going to western end of Lake Erie and then back to Winter Harbor again,
And then turn around.
which is
It's covered, it's safe, it's watched,
it's a great facility, great people, and we feel very secure about the boat being there.
yeah.
And we like Winter Harbor Marina. And this,
And we already have a spot.
yes, and they like us because we pay them money.
We pay the bill.
We pay the bill on time. Plus, we've had an awful lot of work done to the boat and upgrades and stuff like that. Anyway, we're a good customer.
Yeah.
I'm growing increasingly concerned as to whether we're even going to have a cruising season because of the very high potential, I think, that we could get stuck someplace. For instance, what if we do get out? What if we do get on the Oswego Canal, we get to Lake Ontario, and let's just say we can enter Canada to be able to get to the Welland Canal, which is a possibility that
Won't even open
that
this
won't
summer.
even open or be available. Because remember, I did go to the St. Lawrence Seaway and Welland Canal website, and it still says
Yeah.
lockage to recreational boaters is suspended.
Yeah, there's no update.
There's no
nothing.
update.
Yeah.
And that was the first notice to mariners they put out in 2020. That there's nothing going on.
Well, and I think until Canadian borders open up, that's they're not going to feel real concerned about changing that.
No. So anyway, I mean, the implications of this little notice is pretty far-reaching.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know there's loopers on the way up.
Maybe.
It could get real crowded in North Carolina.
Well, we know that Winter Harbor has had many, many requests for
Yes.
storage this next winter
Mm-hmm.
that they're having to turn away. Basically,
There's a waiting list.
There's a waiting list, basically, because they're not sure that anybody they currently store can go anywhere.
See, we've contracted to keep
Certainly for next winter.
for this summer and next winter.
Yeah.
We're secure. I mean, if we had to leave the boat there for this summer,
Yes.
fine.
We have a
You know,
spot.
we have a spot, no problem. And we already have our reservation in for next winter anyway, which was going to be the place where we were going to go anyhow. So, this is a real complication with the Erie Canal basically saying, and
It's giving
two
us
things.
hesitation.
It's
at least.
giving us hesitation, And I keep looking out in our driveway and I see that nice 24-foot RV out there. It's kind of like, well, we might not be able to go boating, but we could go RVing.
Well, it's a nice backup.
It's a nice backup. And so anyway, it's another complication to the 2020 Why Not Great Lakes Grand Tour.
Yeah. If you're thinking about cruise plans, at least with lock systems, New York, Canada, sure that anything with the Trent is the same.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Parks Canada's closed too.
Parks Canada's closed. Consider most scientific resources are saying this is going to come back in the fall.
Yep.
We don't know how they're going to react to it as a government, as a regulation agency, they don't know if they're gonna shut everybody down or not.
Right.
They're not saying that, but they're saying it's probably gonna come back in the fall,
Yep.
and we will have to deal with these choices, with
Again,
these decisions.
we'd have to choose. We'd have to do it all over again.
And if they decide to do that the mid-August and you're not back yet, or they've never opened the canals up in the first place, consider the back end of your plans as well as the front end.
Right. Right. Okay. So we just keep going on.
Yeah.
Please make sure you like, comment on, and share this video, and subscribe to this channel. Also, link to me on Facebook and Instagram. Links are in the description. One last thing, all of my content can be found by searching #SkipperDarrell everywhere. Oh yeah, watch these 2 videos also. Thanks a lot.